What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be mounting the NaturNest 270-degree awning with walls onto my Jeep. This will be the same for pretty much any vehicle you have. There are a few things to keep in mind depending on the roof rack that you have, however, so I will be covering those later in the video. But this is the process on how I mounted it to my Gobi rack on my Jeep Wrangler. I'm Mandarin Mitch, and this actually was sent to me by NaturNest themselves. They liked some of the content that I made on some of their rooftop tents and decided to send me their awning to add to the rig. So that's what we're gonna do today. And before we start mounting it, I'm just going to dump out this bag that has all the stuff in it so we can cover what exactly is included. Before I dump those, what you can see over here is the walls and the bag that the walls come in, or go in rather. This actually was shipped in two separate packages. So the awning itself was shipped and then the walls were shipped separate. I'm not sure if that's always the case or just how it came to me, but that's how it showed up. So that's everything that's in one box, and this is in the other with these as well. So these are going to be the plates that you mount to your roof rack, and then to this, we'll cover that. But let's look in here. It's actually a pretty nice quality little bag to have keep your stuff in. Neat. Ropes, I'm assuming these are to stake everything down. Some clip straps. I'm assuming these are to tighten down the canopy when you fold it up. Some little plates. Be 4 little plates. Then your cords for your LEDs, your bolts, bag of bolts, tent stakes. Looks like we got 6 of them, and 4 U-bolts. So this actually looks pretty promising because with the Gobi rack, it is a round bar, and I think this will attach to that really easy. So that'll be nice. Again, there are a few things that you have to keep in mind with the roof rack, that you have rather. So we'll talk about that, but spoiler, it has to do with these. I'm going to get started on this, and my brother is actually coming over to give me a hand, so he will be here on the next shot. But yeah, I'll be back in a second. All right, so we got the brackets on here. I'm going to show you how we did that really quick. So with the brackets that it came with, we bolted it to the roof rack here. And we used 2, if you can see that. We used 2 U-bolts, 2 brackets, and basically just sandwiched them around the pole there. We did the same thing on this side. The brackets it came with, the U-bolts hugging the pole this way, and yeah, just sandwiched them, tightened them. And we're gonna see if we can figure out a way to make it so that these don't rotate as easy, but yeah. So the thing I was talking about earlier with these brackets is sometimes these U-bolts aren't wide enough to go over whatever roof rack you have, so you have to get some kind of special, or just special brackets. But yeah, so that's the issue I was talking about that sometimes happens. We kind of ran into this similar issue with the rooftop tent on. We couldn't do it, we couldn't mount it where I thought we should, but this is where our attempt is. So that's this step. Basically just figure out a way to mount it to something solid that's going to hold the weight. Summarized. All right, so these bolts all slide in here. You got 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom, and they slide loose in here. So I have one person hold this up, and then the other person line it up with the brackets. Put it up there. Line it up with the brackets. And yeah. So definitely going to be easier as a 2-person job. I don't know how you do this as one, but this is how we're doing it. So we got this thing mounted. It was a little bit of a pain, but nothing too crazy. So I will say there are special brackets that are made for different awnings that probably work with your roof rack. I had the ones that came with this particular roof rack, so we had to make it work a little bit, and I showed you that before, but I'll show you again right now. Just the bracket is kind of sandwiched in between the U-bolts, and tighten down really hard. So most of the pressure that this thing is going to have is going to be from the front with wind, and then the secondary pressure is really just going to be it rocking. So when you hit bumps and you're off-roading and stuff like that, it's going to want to bounce. So as long as you are tight enough to handle that pressure, you should be good. Now I will say, with the NaturNest tent and the brackets, they only have 2 brackets. I kind of would have liked to see a 3rd bracket just for a little bit more stability. But it wouldn't have really mattered for me because there wasn't really too much space on my roof rack to make that work. I probably could have finagled it a little bit too, but I have the Gobi roof rack. They do make special brackets for that, but they're like 250 bucks, and I wasn't going to spend $250 just to mount it. So I figured I could finagle it a little bit, and I think it worked. So that's all we got for this video, but I'm actually going to shoot another video right now showing me opening this up for the very first time. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you check it out now. And until next time, I appreciate you. Peace.